Kevin O'Leary just disclosed that his most significant position is Ether, Polygon, Solana, and Bitcoin. In the last 6 months, O'Leary has written more than 40% of new checks for crypto and blockchain-related businesses. O'Leary stressed the critical nature of cryptocurrency regulation. Regulators in the United States and elsewhere are trying to keep pace with market changes to combat money laundering and protect consumers. If you are new to our YouTube channel, please subscribe and click the notification bell to avoid missing new content. The Nero Association will regularly add videos to keep you posted on the latest in business and finance. Kevin O'Leary. Digital currencies are here to stay. Kevin O'Leary recently reversed his position on Bitcoin. He initially dismissed Bitcoin as garbage and a huge nothing burger, but he has subsequently invested in it and feels it is no longer a passing trend. Kevin now firmly believes that digital currencies are here to stay. Over the last year, most of those willing to hold them, even institutions, have accepted the volatility. Given the volatility of cryptocurrencies, the first decision people must make after deciding to engage is what percentage of their portfolio to allocate. Anthony Pompliano, a Morgan Creek digital partner who has been pleading with Leary for years to invest in Bitcoin, responded to the Shark Tank star's 5% allocation revelation. "You previously prohibited me from having 50% and labeled everything junk, but now you believe that 5% is acceptable. You'll eventually be 50% yourself," said Pompliano. O'Leary had long expressed worries about regulators taking a hard line against Bitcoin. "When it occurs, grown men will weep," he prophesied in December. "You will never witness such a significant loss in your life. It's going to be a bloodbath." He then stated that if a Bitcoin ETF is formed, he would gladly put 5% of his assets in it. The Canadian securities regulator recently approved 2 Bitcoin exchange-traded funds. With less than 1% of global institutions holding cryptocurrencies as an asset class, the Shark Tank investor believes institutional interest in Bitcoin is still in its infancy despite the recent sell-off. Businesses have sustainability committees that look at all assets and delete those that don't match ESG requirements, which is one reason for that delayed adoption rate. Why should we pay attention to O'Leary? Mr. O'Leary is a well-known Canadian entrepreneur. He co-founded SoftKey, a software firm. His mother, an entrepreneur, and stepfather reared him in Montreal. In the mid-1980s, computers were becoming more common. In 1986, Kevin founded his own software company, SoftKey. He founded it with John Freeman and Gary Babcock. It was the first Canadian software business to use the consumer products model. SoftKey specializes in educational and entertainment software development and distribution. The company boomed in the late 1980s. O'Leary claims that the technology is advancing, even though this is not a common practice right now because institutional investors will pour money into Bitcoin as soon as it is ready for prime time. That will not happen until institutions start acquiring it, O'Leary said, but that will be the spark for it to reach $100,000 to $200,000. Everyone must understand that there is a market, but it must be done within the context of ESG concerns. NFT will soon be the biggest. O'Leary's interest in non-fungible tokens stems from the concept that they may be used to digitally verify ownership of physical goods such as expensive watches or flashy vehicles, rather than depending on paper records. NFTs are one-of-a-kind crypto tokens that enable the origin and validity of virtual valuables, such as art and sports memorabilia, to be tracked. Additionally, NFTs have been used as physical assets. 2 years ago, few people had heard of NFTs, but they became a significant phenomenon the following year. According to some predictions, tokens valued at more than $20 billion will change hands in 2021 after a collage by digital artist Beeple, whose real name is Mike Winkelmann. The fad gained traction was sold for a record-breaking $69 million. According to Kevin O'Leary, the U.S. Federal Reserve is unlikely to hike interest rates 3 times this year. There are, however, concerns about the market's long-term viability. According to some, it is related to the 2017 initial coin offering frenzy, during which some investors were duped by unregulated token sales betting on startups. Meanwhile, several scams and instances of stolen art have come to light, raising red flags for some traders. After previously labeling Bitcoin as garbage, the multimillionaire Canadian investor has shifted his position on the cryptocurrency. Bitcoin, according to O'Leary, is a worthless medium of exchange. It is entirely ineffective. O'Leary has recently become a believer in the market, viewing it as a means of diversifying away from other assets, such as real estate in the face of rising inflation. He is particularly interested in decentralized finance, a method aimed at emulating existing financial products through blockchain. He cited his native Canada as an example of a more progressive jurisdiction than others on the subject of cryptocurrency. Canada was the first jurisdiction to authorize an exchange-traded fund devoted to Bitcoin. Though the Securities and Exchange Commission has since approved a Bitcoin-linked exchange-traded fund, it invests in futures rather than directly in Bitcoin. According to O'Leary, other countries embracing cryptocurrency include United Arab Emirates and Switzerland. Regulators are mainly concerned with stablecoins, which are digital tokens tied to the value of national currencies such as the dollar. Economists are concerned that popular stablecoins such as Tether and USD Coin may lack the requisite reserves to back up their claims of dollar backing. O'Leary invested in DeFi Ventures, which attempts to simplify Bitcoin ownership and profit. Due to his sponsorship, the company was renamed WonderFi in honor of Mr. Wonderful. WonderFi aims to clarify illusions about cryptocurrencies and DeFi services, promoting adoption. Many Bitcoin services have grown so fast that they are no longer user-friendly. WonderFi is working to change this. Overall, O'Leary's pragmatic approach to Bitcoin teaches us a lot. Above all, if you want to invest in Bitcoin, it should be a long-term position with low risk. Better still, monetize it through a Bitcoin exchange or DeFi business. Please share and like this content and let us know what you think by typing your comments below. Keep your notifications open, and I'll see you on our next video.